I'm Kristina Rodulfo. My book that won in 2008 is The Other Von Higgely. Well, in my high school, Townsend Harris High School in Queens, we have a requirement to enter a bunch of contests as part of our grades. So I wanted to do something which I believed in, a cause I believed in. So I felt like this is going to appeal to my creative side and also had a great cause. So I definitely wanted to be part of that. It seemed daunting, just the idea of writing and illustrating a whole book by yourself, especially I was 15 years old then. So it seemed like the biggest project that I would take on at that time. But when I realized that it would be published, it would be distributed around different elementary schools, and that you could somehow have an impact on the students, I think that responsibility is what sold it right away for me. Okay, so well, my book it focuses on well, we had the challenge to uh, tell a story about diversity and tolerance, and I didn't want to be literal with that, especially since they're elementary school kids. I didn't want to have anything loaded with race or skin color, so I wanted to take an approach that they would understand, which is a school play. You know, I feel like that's something that's very relatable. It focuses on three girls. They're triplets. Two of them are the same, Melody and Harmony, and then there's one leftover, Jane. And Melody and Harmony are the ones who are the stars of the school. They're dancers and musical, and Jane is kind of the background person. So I feel like what I did there was tap into different parts of me to inform their characters. So there's a part of me that's I love musical theater. I sing, I songwrite, I'm a performer, but then there's always that part of me that's also a wallflower that's quietly passionate, and I think that's where Jane came from. So I feel like everyone has those different parts of them, and either way can relate to that. So. Yes, actually, I've had guidance counselors contact me, and even my old elementary school in Queens, St. Nicholas of Tolentine, they use it there, the guidance counselors with elementary school kids, and that thrills me and also is very surreal, thinking that they think of me as an author. I still don't get used to that at all, and just the idea of them reading the story and maybe getting something, excuse me, maybe getting something good from that is it's really gratifying. I think so. Diversity and tolerance are extremely important, especially to instill in young kids because it's a fundamental value that is the key to collaboration. And collaboration is the key to progress. I think that a lot of times conflict or animosity or negativity come from ignorance. And to overcome that kind of conflict, and to get over that ignorance, you need to open your mind and be able to understand other perspectives to inform yourself, inform others, and make sure that you have the best product possible, whatever it may be. Yes, absolutely. As a humanitarian organization that combats, societal divisions, I think that it's extremely important, and the opportunity that's given, especially to young kids, to raise awareness about this in high school students, and to give them that power, to give them that opportunity and that platform, I think that it's it's really amazing. It's life changing, and it kind of makes them feel like a lot of times when you're in high school, you feel like you're in a bubble. You feel like you won't have any impact or any change. But B'nai B'rith, because of the Diverse Minds Youth Writing Challenge, kind of tells them, you know what, you may be 14 or 15 years old, but you can make a difference. Definitely. I go to New York University, and I think everyone knows that I have a hefty tuition. So it helped me, especially since I commute. So just transportation fees, and then the expensive textbooks and all of that. So everything was towards helping me make the most of my experience there. Okay. So I've always known I wanted to be a journalist since I was 14. I think it's because people had been telling me my whole life, basically, that I was a good writer, that you're meant to be a writer, and I was kind of scared of the idea of being a novelist or a freelance writer, so I figured, why not work in a newspaper, kind of have that 5 day a week job. But it wasn't until doing the Diverse Minds Youth Writing Challenge that I realized that writing can make a difference. It's not just a matter of being a good writer, telling a good story. It's also tapping into humanity and kind of using writing as a platform or a device to have others understand each other, and understand other worlds that they may not know. And my ultimate goal is to use journalism as that platform to kind of get to know the worlds that I don't know, to get uncomfortable, to get out of my comfort zone and learn as much as I can from other people so that my readers or my audience will be able to learn from that as well. So currently I work at Elle Magazine, so that's a fashion magazine. It's not exactly, the social change center, but I'm learning a lot about interviewing and understanding people. And I don't think that I would have had the confidence to even apply to the several internships that I've had over my college career if I hadn't won that Diverse Minds Youth Writing Challenge, if I hadn't been told when I was 15, hey, I think that you have a future in this, I think that you can write and that you can tell a good story. I think I've been involved every single year since I won. I love coming back, especially meeting the students. I've attended a couple of Distinguished Achievement Award galas as a guest speaker there, I think for Bob McDonald from Procter & Gamble, Duncan Niederar for New York Stock Exchange Euronext. So I've gone to those events and kind of acted as an unofficial spokesperson of the Youth Writing Challenge, and that was great because I think you can talk about it and say how great it is, but to have a young person come in with all these CEOs and businessmen and mingling with them, I think it's a great it's a diversity, definitely. It's a great way to open their minds to see how B'nai B'rith is kind of changing lives. So it's been so important to me to stay involved because to see I love to see high school students realize their potential, I think so. Last year, I went to give a talk at the award ceremony, and the winner actually, when she signed my book, she wrote in it, "You were so inspirational," and I think that says it all. I think it's grown a lot. I think that it doesn't only target elementary school kids, but definitely high school students, because I know within my own high school, it was an unknown thing when I joined, and it was kind of under the rest of the contests that everyone else was joining, whether it was poetry or other writing contests. So when I won it and I took it back to my high school, everyone was kind of freaking out. Oh my gosh, we have a published author who's 15 years old in our hallways now, and I want to be that. So when I would come back, I would talk to my peers, and all of them felt encouraged to do and join. And so actually 2 years after me, I think in a row, two of the winners were from my high school. So.